It does feel a bit strange driving off with engine management lights on. Hello and welcome back to the Vaux Wizard channel, and welcome to a video with a difference because I'm on my way to collect the cheapest Audi RS model I can buy in the UK today. It's a long story, but basically the guy's had it for 11 years and loved it, but recently he's found it very hard to get parts because they have to come from Germany and it's been sitting in garages for weeks, and that's just not sustainable. So we was going to give this RS to WeBuyAnyCar.com and I couldn't let that happen. I made him an offer, he accepted it, and I'm on my way to Hull today to go and collect it. Now, being the cheapest Audi RS, clearly there's going to be a backstory which I'll tell you as we go along, but basically it's got an MOT, it drives well, and I should be able to drive it the 100 miles home without problem. But just in case, I've got my RAC card and I've got my Carly device as well. So stay tuned. I can guarantee you today is going to be a very interesting day, one way or the other. Okay, I'm now with Chris, who is the owner of the Audi RS I've come here to buy.
Hi.
It's not an RS6, it's not a TTRS, it's not an RS3. The cheapest Audi RS model I can buy in the UK today is actually a B7 RS4. Now, the backstory with this car is that it's done quite a few miles, hasn't it, Chris?
Yeah,
So
193,000 miles.
Yeah.
I've had it for 11 years and it's been perfect for me for all that time. It let me down once when I decided I knew better than Audi in terms of preventing overheating in traffic. And I used to turn it off in traffic jams, and the fuel pump, whether it was coincidental or not, I don't know, but it broke, and that's the only thing every time it's let me down. But worked all over the United Kingdom, and it's never missed a beat, and it's been the most fabulous car. So I'm very, very, very sad to see it go. But because of the support being pulled by Audi, I've been reliably told that it really isn't a sort of daily driver anymore. So it's time for it to have a new chapter, and hopefully someone who will love it as much as I have.
So even though you can go to Audi Tradition, which was set up to support the older vehicles,
yeah,
you're not able to get the parts you need.
I've been caught out by the transition from good stocks to none, with the example of that being the whole DRC system. All of the pipework was replaced last year because of corrosion, so that meant dropping the rear subframe to put it all in, and then lo and behold, a misted near side front damper, you go check on the system, they're all gone. Flexies are gone, and I had already managed to buy another one. I think it was the offside front, but then obviously that wouldn't suit the one that I needed to replace, so I had to find an alternative solution. Essentially, the chap who sold them, they're just routine shock absorbers that maintain the ride height, most of the characteristics of the car, and that's definitely been my experience. And as he said to me, that's it, that's one thing you'll never have to worry about ever again.
And they use conies, which are a good shock.
Yeah.
And they explain that because they're dual tube, they're more compliant than the single gas pressure tube of the build signs.
I didn't want to change the car from stock as at all possible, to keep it as original as possible. So there's not been any other changes to the car other than the forge oil cooler.
Yes, which we can see
had to be changed.
Yeah, could you not get an Audi one?
I think we could have done, but I was advised that this is a better upgrade, and I can't remember the reason for it, but possibly it was slightly less money.
Yeah, so Chris has pointed out to me that it sits higher than the original one, which is down here in front of, well, down there somewhere. And by the way, Chris hasn't washed it because we're in Yorkshire at the moment, and there's a hosepipe ban on, so...
Yeah, absolutely not allowed to use hosepipes. Basically, I've been waiting for some other parts that can't be obtained anymore. It's been outside at my local garage Auto Technica in Hull, and that's why it's got sort of what rain we've had settling with the deposits on it. But rest assured, it's been lovingly waxed underneath. But it's got the marks of its age.
Okay, well, it makes it difficult, therefore, to show you one of the most important attributes of this car, and that's the colour. So tell us about the colour, Chris.
So cherry black. So this was an option on the car when it was released. So cherry black pearlescent finish, and the car has that over black, which it was originally to be specified with, because the originating dealership put in, without the first owner's knowledge, they put in for a competition at the time for £5,000 worth of optional extras.
Yeah.
And as it happened, they won. So the first owner was invited to come back and discuss what he would like to spend that £5,000 on, and he decided to change the, I think it was Phantom Black metallic for cherry black, complete with now an Audi exclusive interior in red, which nearly came to £5,000.
The exterior in this light, to my eyes, looks very close to black, but
Yeah.
I'll show everybody the colour when it's clean and it's sunny, and we'll see the difference. I'm not going to, it's something to save for a future video, but the interior, you will not mistake for a black one. So
No, absolutely
shall we
not.
have a look? And it goes well with the exterior.
Yep. So
Wow.
yeah. So it's a sort of dark red. I think the original pictures looked pink from the pictures from Peterborough Audi, but when I saw it and I did just that, open the front door, I said, "Yep, that'll do."
Yeah. So steering wheel and gear knob as well.
Yes.
I had
Everything is standard.
And we've got the comfort seats, which at this mileage I think is probably the best option, because the bucket seats would have been probably quite ruined by now, even with someone as thin as you.
Yes. They are.
Smells good as well, Chris.
Oh yeah, never been smoked in.
Smells.
It's a
like
very
new.
clean, loved car.
Okay. So colour-wise, interior exterior is really unusual, but the spec's pretty good as well. So we've got the
Factory sunroof,
which is always a nice touch.
So
Is there anything else, Chris?
slide. Aluminium inlays, satellite navigation, flat bottom steering wheel, CD auto changer in the glove box.
Very nice.
Not the cooler. And then, so I think that's it. Oh, and also light pack. So there's a light pack and heated rear seats.
Wow, that is rare.
So yeah, heated rear seats with the wheels and the back of the centre console. They all work as everything works.
Amazing.
Window lifters, the sunroof.
Okay, so it's done 193,000 miles, and I haven't seen the car. I hadn't seen it until just now.
Yeah.
I haven't driven it. I'm taking a lot of this on trust, but also the service history speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I think you said there were 31 service entries for oil changes in 193,000 miles. So average that out, that's 6,000 miles on average.
Yeah, so the first owner was an academic professor from Warwick University. He was clearly just had no interest in Audi long life servicing any more than I would. So he's had it all dropped every 5,000 miles, end of. As I'm sure many people will know, this engine, they stupidly decided to change the overlap between the valves on the inlet and the exhaust, so blowing some exhaust gases across, a bit reburnt, causing carbon build-up. And the check engine light comes on, and so this car at 58,000 miles, they did what they did with a lot of them and decided just to put a whole new engine in to solve the problem.
So you had a misfire from carbon build-up?
I don't know whether it was misfiring, but obviously it threw out the lights, and then they started to realise, and then obviously had a corporate decision and decided to just put new engines in. So at 58,000, this got a complete new engine. So 193,000, but you know, the engine that's in there is distinctly less than that.
The elephant in the room is that it was 58,000 miles and it's done much more now.
Yes.
But you've been having regular decarbonisation?
Yes. Yeah, because I'm going to take it to APS in Brackley, and you know, they know what they're doing, and they've just sort of said, Ed said you should see this as a service item every couple of years. Well, I have done.
I noticed it from the history, yes.
So yeah,
remarkable.
you know, it's expensive every time, but this car has never wanted. If I get told it needs something, it's got it. And the only reason it's being sold now is because you simply can't get it. And the head technician, both at Auto Technica in Hull and APS, have said this is not a daily driver. So not that it is a daily driver, because I have other cars that I can drive for work, but still, it's getting difficult.
Yeah, 4 weeks off the road waiting for parts is, I can understand, difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just have a quick look in the boot.
So there's a great company called Hatchbag, fantastic company to deal with. They make laser measured liners pretty much for any car whatsoever. So, and you can have them split seats and so on, but I prefer not to do that because the Velcro, when you put between the split seats, lets stuff through.
Yeah.
So this particular one is pretty much sealed, and if I've got big boxes or whatever, you just drop the whole thing down, put the seats down, and that's it. So that works well.
So you've had your dogs in there, and
yes, yeah.
But
that's why it's such a wonderful car. It's so practical.
They do call it the sort of really fast Labrador carrier,
Yeah,
don't you? You've
This-
been living that dream.
It does absolutely everything. So yeah, the hatchback comes with also
Oh, yeah.
a boot liner on the back
course.
of these, so
Good.
that's always
That's
been
carpet.
there.
Of course.
Exactly, and then travel guard.
Yes.
And then you know, coin matting,
And some
then
mats.
spare mats, and so yeah.
Lovely. Okay. I think probably the boot's great, but I think we should have a look under the bonnet now. I can't wait to clean that.
Yes.
But you've still got the carbon. It's discoloured like it does at a much earlier
Yeah.
age anyway. So, I mean, I probably should be concerned about this, but I remember an interview with an engineer when the cars were new, and they said it would be good for 150,000 miles.
Right.
So take away the 58 off the
Yeah.
193. We're close, but I think you've looked after it better than
The
average.
thing is, that's right, but I remember Nathan saying at APS, some of the best ones you've seen are way over north of 200,000 miles.
But the engine management light is on. isn't
Yes, at the moment, but the reason for that is there are, inside the inlet manifold, there are two tumble flaps, shafts, one per bank, and one of them on one side, the bearing for it is sticking. And at the moment, if you read the code, it says that the tumble valve is stuck in the enclosed position, so it's triggering both that and also the EPC light.
Well-
and it's limiting the performance as a result.
They can be removed. Did you?
I have heard of that, and that would seem to me like a most sensible thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I believe it's just to make it idle slightly nicer when it's cold. And yeah, absolutely. You know, I think this brakes solenoids with like it has hot dinners, because if the shaft is getting tight, I don't know. So I mean, they go in, they do the decarb, solenoid's old, let's change it. So I've done that same again this time round. But and that is again part of the reason. As a daily driver, it's more for an enthusiast to take on that work, and actually, someone with an engineering access to an engineering people who can make these modifications to keep it going. But other than that,
Wow.
the engine's the same as.
Would it be possible to go for a test drive now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, great.
Okay, so I'm not going to have full power, but it should get me home, shouldn't it? You took it for a drive yesterday, so...
100%.
Okay, what is the quirk of this car is that we've got a starter button, and so there's this weird like dead feeling when you go too far with the key, because you have to press that.
Pump,
So
yeah.
I put the seatbelt on, and oh yeah, forget it's manual. Such an unusual thing for an Audi RS. Very good. Handbrake feels nice. Would you suggest left or right?
Oh, let's go right.
Okay. Clutch feels nice. So it's second clutch.
Yeah,
And-
so clutch, dual mass flywheel,
Yeah.
replaced at about 70, this is a testament to the way it's been run, at about 78,000 miles, not long after I bought it, including the pipes, which had a habit of
So I'll just turn that down.
with the pipes to the clutch had a habit of delaminating,
Right.
which basically when you lifted off the clutch, it was slow to return. So it had that, so that was changed out. And we're very careful with the gear changes and so on, so I hope you find that the clutch is as good as any.
Feels
any
great
car.
so far.
Yeah.
Ride's pretty compliant, as you said. It feels like DRC at this point. Obviously DRC is compliant, but also it supports the car well in corners. So, obviously it's going to take a bit of time to fathom its ride and handling fully, but it feels compliant. That's important because most of the time you're driving like this, and when the cars are on coilovers, they're just a bit annoying.
Yeah,
I
that
have
was
driven.
definitely my advice.
Yeah, I have driven that. I bought one from APS a long time ago that had KW variant 3 coilovers, and it was a saloon. And it was really low, looked like a touring car, and actually had reasonably good ride quality.
Very nice. Very
But
left.
my general experience of coilovers is not good. So the reason this car is, at the moment, the cheapest Audi RS I could buy in the country is because the mileage is high, and we've got the engine management light on, which is never a good thing really, but Chris has been very transparent. He's maintained the car well, so I'm thinking that the risks are worth taking because generally the car's in really good condition, and there could be lower mileage cars that are worth more that will be facing all the issues Chris has been through.
I
in the last
wouldn't
years.
want to be in that position again. I know if it wasn't for the the parts availability or the lack of access to people like MRC to take those flaps out, which is probably what I would do.
That's a fit and forget then,
Yeah,
or remove and forget.
Well, gone, exactly. Like those shock absorbers now, they're done, that's it.
I notice you haven't worn out the sport button either. There's a tiny bit of wear there.
Yeah, I know, but
generally,
don't believe that. I always run it in sport because I like the throttle response.
Really?
So I do press it every time. I'm just clean and healthy with it. But it's all a question of the way it's driven. So it needs to be used for its operating envelope, but appropriately.
Wow, look at this Mark II. Bet you had one of those, didn't you?
Still have.
You've got a Mark II?
Left where I'll show it when we get back. If you're interested.
Very interested, sorry. Yeah, distracted by the fact Chris has just revealed he's got a Mk2 Golf GTI.
Well, actually, I haven't. It's my wife's. But,
well, you're married, so it's yours.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Do you drive it? Or does
Yeah, we might take it out tomorrow.
Have you had it a long time?
No, it's a bit of an incredible find, to be honest.
Is it local find?
No, well, we picked it up from Edinburgh.
Oh wow!
But
let's get this test drive over.
Yeah,
it's been
sure.
brilliant. I'll get you paid,
Brilliant.
and then you can.
No problem.
You can show me this Mark II Golf.
Yeah. This is the Golf, Mark II Golf.
So officially your wife's car.
Yep.
And wow, so it is Atlas Grey, as you suspected. It's a really early car then, so it hasn't got the side repeaters. It's not the earliest because it hasn't got the Mark I Golf stripes. It's got the side mouldings, two-piece windows, wipers on the wrong way around, narrow slot grille, and it's got the really retro interior, which I think is the earliest version. There might be one earlier one than that. 4-button steering wheel, so it still has little hints of the Mark I in there. Fantastic. 78,000 miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cassette.
Fisher C box.
Yeah.
A very early gear gator as well. That looks like it's off of like a forklift truck or something.
Yeah.
Oh wow, it's got the original sticker in the back. So yeah, RB is definitely somewhere in the Midlands on the registration number. Bristol Street Motors, Nottingham.
Yeah.
Different. It's got the early lettering for the GTI badge. Wow, it's even perfect around the fuel filler, which is very unusual.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, amazing. Wow.
Can't find any paintwork on it.
No, it's even got the seals on the top of the wings there, which they're never on there when people replace the wings. That pushes the water down into the drain hole. There, it's got a sticker on the slam panel. Look at that rocker cover. So normally they're like brown because they get overheat, they get hot, and the paint peels off, and you've got the sticker on there. So somebody's loved this, and I think they probably restored it to some degree when the parts were still available, because it's just too good.
Yes. It was owned by a lady. She only passed away a couple of years ago, well into her 80s. So she ran a driving school, and Nottingham. It was serviced in Nottingham, but I think one chap throughout, and there's loads of history with it. So,
that's important.
Yeah.
Wow. Honestly, I can normally pick faults in Mark IIs, even just in adverts, but I can't see anything.
Yeah. It's as good underneath as it is on top as well. So
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, well maybe I'll come back for this one day, but
all right,
let's get you paid for the RS4 before you change your mind, and I'll make my way home.
All right, right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so car's paid for, and I've got a load of paperwork here, probably tens of thousands of pounds worth of service work. Anyway, let's get on the road then. So press the evocative start button once we've turned the key. You have to do both. And off we go. Select first and wave goodbye to Chris. It does feel a bit strange driving off with engine management lights on, but I've driven the car, it drives really well, so we'll get home and we'll get them sorted in due course. But I think the core car is spot on, and a real testament to how Audi built their cars in the early noughties. We've even got just under half a tank of fuel, so thanks Chris for that as well. Yeah, I haven't driven a B7 RS4 for, must be nearly 10 years. I think I did some videos in my early YouTube career where I did some buying guides. I actually owned one for a year, 2011 to 2012. I can't say I really gelled with it, to be perfectly honest. But it was impressive, but I don't know. It's a different world now here, and I think cars like this that are very analog mean a lot more then, because every car was analog. So we've got a manual shift and a V8. I mean, how can that ever age? So it really is a tricky one. You know, I have now got a lovely Audi exclusive RS4, but it has got 193,000 miles on the clock. So I guess it's a case of, is your glass half empty or your glass half full? If you look at it as a glass half full, you've got this Audi. It's like, drives well. It's got this lovely interior, special paintwork, and it's an RS4 B7, which is the one. But then if you're glass half empty, then it's just like, you'd think it's done all its miles and it should be in a scrapyard. At the moment, I'm very happy. Let's see how long that lasts for. Okay, I've done about 100 miles and I'm most of the way home now, which is great. I'm going quite slowly because I'm nearly out of fuel, which is a problem with V8s. But anyway, I thought it'd be a good time to tell you my future plans with this car. Firstly, we need to get rid of the warning lights on the dashboard. Obviously I need to verify it's what Chris told me about the inlet manifold flaps, and then if it is that, then probably the best course of action is to get them taken out and then get the software updated so it doesn't log a fault. There are a few people that can do that. I like to put the car on a dyno as well to see what a 193,000 mile RS4 produces. I think I need to go over the bodywork with a fine tooth comb, because to be honest, what with the hose pipe ban in Yorkshire, I've not been able to have a good look at it. It looks pretty good, but Chris mentioned there's a bit of corrosion at the front of the wheel arches, which is not unusual for this car. So we just need to see how bad that is and maybe plan to get that resolved in time. I want to do some road trips in it. I think one of the most important ones will be to take this back to where it was manufactured in Neckarsulm. It's a long day's drive to get there from the UK, but this car should be perfect for it when it's obviously not got warning lights on the dashboard. But yeah, let me know what you think I should do with this car in the comments. I've got to say, in the 100 miles or so I've done in it, it has grown on me a lot. It feels remarkably fresh. Okay, it's a bit like Trigger's broom. Nearly everything's been replaced, so of course it feels like a really fresh car, but even so, yeah, it's still remarkable. Anyway, I'm on my way somewhere now that's very significant when it comes to the early life of this car, so yeah, I'll update you on why we're going there when we get there. If we get there. Well, this is where today's video ends. Coventry Audi, where this RS4 started its life on the 16th of December 2006, 193,300 miles ago, when it's collected by Mr. McRae from Canley in Coventry. Over the next few videos on this car, I hope to be erasing some of those miles from the way it drives and the way it looks. Obviously we're not going to erase them from the odometer. So if you like what you've seen so far, then make sure you subscribe, and see you for the next video very soon. Thanks for watching.